Okay, so here we go. We've got our chicken that we chopped up. Remember, this was our 2 chickens that we got for $16. Yeah, $16 and I think a penny or 3 pennies. Anyway, I've cut it all up now and I have this tucked in the fridge, but we need to get this marinated. So grabbing a big bowl, let's make an amazing sauce, because what we're gonna do is we're gonna do buttered chicken, but we're gonna put it in the oven. Get your oven going to 400 degrees. And let's get started making this. First thing you're gonna need to do is have some plain yogurt, Greek style preferably. That means it's just thicker. Thicker is far better when it comes to yogurt. Gosh, I could talk for days about flavored yogurts, but plain yogurt is where you wanna go, plain Greek yogurt. I wanna add a little bit of citrus to this. So if you happen to have our 2-in-1 press, give it a little squeeze. Now you could use lemon if you prefer. I just had a half lime left over, and you know me, I don't like throwing out anything. Citrus is citrus, and the flavor is gonna be just fine. So this is when we're gonna grab our butter chicken flavoring pack, and we're gonna dump the whole thing in. Yes, oh my goodness. Did I happen to tell you that Indian is one of my favorite cuisines? I could probably jump inside the package. It is so good. So we're just gonna stir this up, make sure we've got it well incorporated. And now we need to coat our chicken. I'm gonna tell you though, here's the deal. Turmeric stains big time. Anytime you're cooking with curry, make sure you're wearing an apron or dark colored clothes. You do not want to be cooking in white. And what we're going to do, now remember, we removed the skin off this. So the reason I did that is skin has a lot of the extra fat, and I didn't want all the fat on here. I wanted the flavor. So we're just going to coat these really, really well, all the way around. Now, because I cut up that chicken, I had chicken wings, I had chicken legs, and I could have cooked the legs, the wings maybe not so much. So I actually tucked those aside. I froze them. You can keep those in a bag every time you buy your whole chickens on sale. And eventually you'll have enough that you can actually have chicken wings. Oh my gosh, with our great seasonings. Wouldn't that be fabulous? Makes sense, right? And the last one. And that is just enough seasoning for the 3-4 pieces I have. This is definitely gonna feed a family of 4 because they're all big pieces. So now most times when you're doing butter chicken, they ask you to marinate it overnight, and that can be helpful, but because we've taken the skin off of it, it's not really a requirement. So it is ready to go. Now what we need to do is we need to make our butter curry sauce. Are you with me? Let's get started with that. Just set this aside for now. I've got 2 tablespoons of butter in here. You could use ghee if you prefer. And of course, we're using butter because it's butter chicken. Hey, pretty obvious. So where did butter chicken actually come from? What is a little bit of history? Fun food fact is Pakistan. In fact, the claim to fame actually goes back to a restaurant called Moti Mahal. Back in 1947, in the city of Delhi, there was huge popularity with this. Many celebrities went over there to have this amazing buttered chicken, including Jacqueline Kennedy and heads of states. This one is going to take about 45 minutes, about 10 minutes of prep time, as you see. And of course, this is a great time where you're just doing a little bit of prep work, the 10 minutes of prep work. Stick it in the oven. About 30 minutes in, you're going to baste it. And then 15 minutes later, you get to indulge in this amazing dish. What we're going to do is we are going to make our curry sauce, and then we're going to put our chicken that we've got marinating right now. So what goes in here? Well, we need to put in, of course, a tomato paste. So roughly about a cup. You will want, if you have any leftover tomato sauce, Because a lot of times when you're using those recipes, and I'm sure I can't be the only one, but how many times have you done a recipe and you're not using a full can? Remember, I think I told you, freeze the extras in little ice cube trays, because that allows you to pull out that little bit extra when you need it. And this would be that perfect example. So the next thing that we're gonna do is we could either do a whole like heavy cream, or as our instructions say on our back of our meal solutions, put in coconut milk. So you can use light coconut or you can use full fat coconut. If you want to make it more authentic and flavorful, you know, you're going to put in the, you know, the real, not light, I shouldn't call it real, the traditional. Let's go with that, right? So just stir this, season this a little bit, definitely with a little bit of salt. So if you've got a few grinds, you're probably going to want about a half a teaspoon or so. So stir this up, get it all incorporated. We've got our oven at 400 degrees, and we are going to bake this. In fact, I can probably turn the heat off here. We're going to put this entire saute pan, which is an Epicure product, by the way. We're going to put this whole thing right into the oven and bake in it. Yes, this fry pan goes from stovetop to oven. I'm going to prove it to you. Now you'll notice that it does have a beautiful handle. This handle is good up to 450 degrees. It will get hot, so don't burn yourself. Don't kid yourself. It is a handle, and on the stove it wouldn't get hot, but in the oven it certainly will. We're now going to grab our chicken, and you can see this is sort of a yellowy color because of the turmeric and all those flavors from that buttered chicken pack. And we're going to want to set this down with the shiny side up. Now, what does that mean? Well, when it comes to chicken breasts, you probably can make sense, but the side that basically had the skin on it, because the cut side, of course, has opened up for flavoring, right? Makes total sense. We want to make sure that we get the flavor of our butter chicken. This on, and I would make sure that I cover the chicken breast, because that doesn't have a bone in it versus the thigh, and that thigh, because it has the bone in it, is going to stay more moist and cook slower. So if you have any extra of your marinade, cover your chicken breast. It's going to need it. I promise you that. And now it's going to go into the oven. So stay tuned. This is what gives you a chance. Once you put it in the 400 degree oven, set the timer for 30 minutes. At 30 minutes, you're going to want to baste this, and then you're going to cook it for 15 minutes more. You can now go clean the kitchen, go do the homework with the kids, go sit down and relax, throw your feet up for a few minutes, or do whatever you need to do. This is basically pop it in and come back later. Okay, so we're at our 30-minute mark. And now is the time to baste this, and we're going to put it on for another 10 minutes. As you can see, the tomato sauce color has changed. The meat is cooking in its juices with all that flavoring. It smells delicious. Don't keep the door open too long. We don't want the heat to go down too much. But let's set the timer for another 10 minutes. All we need now is just a little cilantro. And we have an absolutely delicious meal made with our butter chicken recipe. Baked butter chicken. Doesn't that look delicious? Serve this with basmati rice. Maybe you want to have a salad, and of course, naan bread. So you can see how beautiful this saute pan is. Go stovetop to oven. This is a 1-pot meal. And yes, it did take longer than 20 minutes, but it didn't require more than 20 minutes of your time to make. Enjoy, and thanks so much for watching. Bye for now.